My discussion board post today is going to be on William Jennings Bryan and the Scopes trial. So one of the reasons that I decided to do the Scopes trial is that I actually visited the Ray County Courthouse, I believe it was actually a couple months ago when I was still in school, in Tennessee. And Cleveland, Tennessee is where I went to school, and Dayton wasn't that far away, so I kind of wanted to pay a visit to the courthouse which held this such a famous trial. Unfortunately, when I went, the museum was closed, but I was able to go inside the courthouse and kind of take a look around, and there's a statue outside of Charles Darrow, who's the prosecutor or the attorney for John T. Scopes. So William Jennings Bryan is a third presidential candidate. He actually was Secretary of State under President Woodrow Wilson, and I think both of those men were very influential when it came to faith and religion. So the Scopes trial is named after a man named John T. Scopes. He was actually a biology teacher at the Ray County High School. He might have actually been a substitute from what I've read and done research on. And he actually knew that there was a law called the Butler Law of 1925, and that law clearly states you are not allowed to teach evolution to public schools and classrooms. And he knew that. He was actually approached by people to kind of break it and test the waters and see kind of what would happen. I've also read some things about how they did that in order to bring publicity to the small town of Dayton. But anyways, he did that, and the trial did come to be, and we have two men who are widely known through this trial. We have Charles Darrow, like I said, who defended Scopes, and then we have William Jennings Bryan on the other side. So we kind of have a creation versus evolution. And we also kind of look at that as a fundamentalist, which is Bryan, and a modernist, which is Darrow. And so this trial went on for about 8 days, the two men kind of battling it out between the sides, and kind of saying, Darrow was kind of saying that humans are not much more than any other mammal, and Jennings Bryan was trying to show that obviously creation is very prominent in the book of the Bible. And Darrow actually ended up calling Bryan to the stand, and they kind of talked it out, and it got to the point where the judge had to remind the jury what the trial was about, specifically looking at John T. Scopes to see if he had broken the law, the Butler Law. And it ended up that the jury decided to fine Scopes $100, and he was found guilty, which was later changed from a technicality. Bryan was actually under a lot of health issues while he was down there in Dayton, and it was clearly evident while he was on trial working there. And afterwards, I think it was a week afterwards, he actually passed away. And so one of the reasons why I think that Jennings and even Darrow play such a big part in this is because you're looking not only at religious changes, but kind of seeing that there's two sides. So you have not just two sides of religion, but you just have one that's not even religious at all. You're looking at something completely different. So it's kind of a split between something modern and something like fundamentalist versus modernist. You're looking at the two sides, and it's brought to focus that there may be another side other than a religion. And I think that kind of is something that changes not only the society in Dayton, but it impacts the world, because there were many reporters there reporting on the Scopes trial. Even there were some newspapers that were keeping up with Scopes afterward. I read one article that said that he was running for Congress in Kentucky. And so, this is something that wasn't just Dayton is a small town, but this trial made it big. And I think that it definitely impacted America.